Here's your news for May 4th, 2020. And your headlines for today include: former WWE Universal Champion injured, Undertaker roasts Booker T in newly revealed footage, Jeff Hardy has dangerous idea for another cinematic match in WWE, will WWE release Rey Mysterio, WWE's backup plans if SummerSlam in Boston falls through, WWE wrestler ignored Vince McMahon's warning seconds before his match, and more. We're starting today with news from WWE as Kevin Owens has revealed he is dealing with an ankle injury. Speaking to Canadian sports network RDS, the prizefighter claimed he'd suffered either a slight fracture or sprain to his ankle when he jumped off the WrestleMania 36 sign onto Seth Rollins on a table and was set to get an X-ray to determine the severity of the damage. It's not all bad news for the former Universal Champion, as he spoke about spending more time at home due to the injury and the ongoing global situation, saying, "The great thing about WWE is that it doesn't require us to be there if we don't want to. This is also why in the last 2 weeks I have not been present, because I preferred to be at home with my family," Owens said. Fans haven't seen the prizefighter since his taped promo on the post-WrestleMania Raw, and it'll be interesting to see what Owens does when he returns. From one injury to another now, as it's been previously reported that Jimmy Uso is dealing with an injury that'll keep him out for 6 to 9 months, and this has led to some big questions regarding his brother Jay. According to Ringside News, who are reporting that the injury happened during their latest SmackDown appearance, WWE officials are yet to decide on whether the remaining brother will be a singles star or be pulled from TV until Jimmy is recovered. It was noted that the situation is being discussed with some higher-ups in the company, including Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koskey, Ryan Ward, and Vince McMahon himself. While an injury like this is always bad, this is especially unfortunate as the Usos only recently returned from an extended hiatus, and now it looks like the Uso Penitentiary is closed once again. We've got some news from The Undertaker next, as now that the Phenom is coming out of his shell more, he's even started telling jokes. When Booker T offered himself to be roasted in 2016, The Undertaker was quick to poke some fun at the Hall of Famer's expense, and while appearing via video message at the Houston Improv show, included an incident in Tacoma, Washington. According to the Phenom, it was in Tacoma that Booker promised fans they'd see a, quote, "Taker-Rooney," which the dead man described as the biggest hit job since JFK, but admitted it was pretty damn funny. The dead man wasn't the only person to roast Booker in 2016 in the footage that only recently made it online, as DDP, Chris Jericho, Rob Van Dam, and Booker's own wife, Sharmell, also made fun of the 5-time WCW champion. It's good to see that Booker has made plenty of friends willing to roast him throughout his career, and now that fans can find the footage on the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel, we can only wonder what stories could be told about the dead man if he chose to be roasted. Back to the ring now, and with WWE getting ready for the return of Jeff Hardy next week, the former WWE champion recently appeared on After the Bell and had a lot to say. Speaking about the WrestleMania 36 Boneyard match, Jeff thought it was amazing, but it also caused his own creativity to start flowing. He said, "I was envious, man, because I know what it's like behind the scenes when you're filming stuff like that. So it's just so fun, and when you're filming through all hours of the night, and then you get to watch the finished product back, that match was amazing." Adding that it reminded him of the final deletion in TNA, Hardy went on to say that he would like his own cinematic match in WWE, saying, "I was on my motocross track and had this vision. What if there was some kind of motocross match, like a ring in the middle of it that was all lit up, but there was a race going on at the same time?" Hardy went on to describe the WWE filming cinematic-style matches like the Final Deletion as an honor, and now that the Hardys are both in WWE and AEW, there could be a lot of cinematic matches in both companies from now on. From one megastar to another now, as former World Heavyweight Champion Rey Mysterio may soon be gone from the company. Mysterio, who signed a 2-year deal to return in September 2018, hasn't used his 18-month opt-out clause in his contract, meaning that his deal will expire this September, unless something gets signed soon. According to reports, WWE have already begun talks with Rey about re-signing, and there's been plenty of speculation that Rey will stay, given that his son Dominic was set to start his wrestling career this year. Of course, the ongoing global situation has thrown any plans for Dominic up in the air, as the company has been forced to work with a skeleton roster in the Performance Center. It's also possible that Mysterio could join AEW when given the chance, as he is friends with many members of the company, and despite WWE's efforts, worked their All-In show in 2018, shortly before his WWE return. If he does resign with WWE, it's likely that the company could lock him into one of their lucrative 3 to 5 year deals, as even with the global situation forcing the company to cut costs, they certainly wouldn't want arguably the most iconic masked superstar ever appearing in AEW. While Jeff and Ray may be long-established megastars, one man who is getting his own little push is Otis, as he finally got his girl at WrestleMania 36. WWE recently released the writer behind the Mandy Rose and Otis love story, and according to Ringside News, Vince McMahon has been especially involved in Otis's push, being described as the driving force. Of course, everything in WWE has to get approved by McMahon, but with the Heavy Machinery member set to compete in his first Money in the Bank ladder match next Sunday, odds are he will continue to be a focal point on SmackDown for quite some time. Though Money in the Bank is this Sunday, WWE is looking ahead to SummerSlam, and while the plan is for the show to take place at Boston's TD Garden on August 23rd, that plan is still in the air given the global situation. Now, Ticket Drew, an insider in the ticket world, says that WWE is still planning for the show to go ahead as planned, but said that the company has backups in place, though didn't specify what they are. WWE obviously doesn't want to cancel their biggest party of the summer, but as the situation continues to develop, they may not have a choice in the matter. Back to SmackDown now, and the Blue Brand's hacker has teased that they may soon make their presence known on the Blue Brand in person. In their latest tweet sent this weekend, the video had the usual opening about the truth being heard, followed by the coordinates 28.5623 degrees north, 81.2907 degrees west being shown. These coordinates lead to WWE's Performance Center in Orlando, where SmackDown has been taped for over a month now, and the hacker signed off saying, "Let the games begin." Given that the hacker has already put out a final warning, it's possible that we could see a reveal on next week's Money in the Bank Go Home episode of SmackDown, or maybe on the pay-per-view itself. There's been plenty of speculation on who the hacker could be, with the favorites being Mustafa Ali, a repackaged Chad Gable, or even both men, and hopefully fans will get to see the SmackDown hacker's secret identity in the very near future. While we haven't seen the hacker's face just yet, one man we can ironically see is John Cena, as the 16-time world champion didn't let the ongoing global situation stop him from surprising a 7-year-old fan. With help from the Pasco County Fire Rescue officials, Cena visited Tampa Bay and the home of David Castle, a brave young man who is fighting Wilms tumor after he was diagnosed at stage 4 last year. Wisely, Cena wore the proper protection gear, but removed his mask at first to not scare the kid, and David's mother Tammy revealed that Cena signed belts, t-shirts, a program, and a bobblehead, while giving a hat and some of his armbands to one very happy 7-year-old who was in tears of joy after meeting his hero. It's no secret that Cena is always willing to go the extra mile for the younger fans, having granted over 650 wishes for Make-A-Wish. And once again, Big Match John has proven himself to be the ultimate babyface. From one former world champion to another now, as Mick Foley has revealed a time when he defied the boss during his career. Speaking on the latest WWE Untold, Foley spoke about his early 2000 feud with Triple H, which included a street fight at the Royal Rumble. On the Untold episode, Foley explained what Vince said to him before the match, saying, "The last words Mr. McMahon said to me before I stepped through the curtain were, 'No thumbtacks.'" Anyone who has seen the critically praised match knows that this order was disobeyed, as Foley and the game used tacks, as well as all sorts of weapons before Triple H retained his title. We've got news regarding Becky Lynch now, as it looks like the Raw Women's Champion is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to Chris Tapley from Netflix's The Call Sheet, Lynch will be in an upcoming Marvel movie, but didn't specify which one. Just last night, the man appeared on the Season 5 premiere of Billions, and this news comes shortly after it was reported that the Irish superstar is set to be featured in a major national women's magazine. Though we're not sure which Marvel character Lynch will be reportedly playing, it's clear that the Raw Women's Champion is quickly becoming a big name out of the ring, and looks to follow the likes of The Rock, John Cena, and Batista to the silver screen. Back to SmackDown now, and following the success of Kofi Mania, which saw the New Day star finally capture the WWE Championship, many people have been wondering whether Big E is next to capture a world title. Speaking to Matt Camp on The Bump, Big E admitted that he thought about how it'd be to be world champion, saying, "Of course I thought about it. You don't think I want to stand on the mountain holding the greatest title in our industry? Of course I've thought about it. I tell people time and time again, I show up and I do my job the best I can on a nightly basis. It doesn't matter if there are no fans, if there are fans, if it's backstage, if it's digital, if it's The Bump. Whatever it is, I'm not saying I'm the best around, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I'm giving you my all." As a former NXT, Intercontinental, and Tag Champion, Big E has put in plenty of effort over the years, and perhaps one day fans will see him hold the WWE or Universal Championship. And finally, we have news from AEW, as well plenty of promotions have had on-screen authority figures, including WWE, WCW, and TNA. Fans shouldn't expect to see them in the budding promotion. When Cody Rhodes was asked on Twitter during a Q&A when fans can expect an authority figure on Dynamite, the executive vice president made himself clear. "Hopefully never," Rhodes responded. "The audience isn't dumb. They know who management is. Authority elements seem insulting in this era. This is just my opinion, as there's a lot of fun ways to do this, and I respect those." Rhodes' comments are interesting, as WWE have also opted not to have on-screen authority figures for quite some time, and Rhodes will look to become the first AEW TNT champion at Double or Nothing later this month when he faces Lance Archer.